You're such an asshole.
So I have a request that is beleaguered. You can hear it in his voice, even though it's in the written word. And but it doesn't have any particular specific question. I think he's just exhausted, or maybe he sounds like a younger guy, and you start to realize his generation of girls, which is going to be Gen Z and millennial, probably more Gen Z. He's like, WTF? And I think every generation, oh, certainly Gen X on, has gone through this. Like, what's going on? What's going on? Not only from a conscious, logical, sentient, your eyes are open, you're paying attention to the news, or you look into the abyss that is known as TikTok or social media, but your instincts as well. Because no matter how empirical or logical or scientific we might want to be about it, there's still an instinctual distaste or insult that comes when girls just kind of reject guys, or you're rejected by anyone. Anyone's rejected by anyone. You have a distaste about that. But I think it's particularly pronounced genetically where, you have a group, as a group, generations of women saying, well, it's kind of the overall statement, we don't need you, which hurts, that kind of hurts, and is insulting, especially for men where their entire uh, I was going to say existential existence, but their entire existence, their entire value historically has been that they are needed, that is what their calling is for. So I'm trying to think, it's, I'm trying to think what an analogy would be like. It's like, you're a gun, but we don't need you to shoot bullets. What do? I don't know, just exist. So I could see in a purely emotional, psychological, instinctual reason, I can understand your frustration, but it's going to help to look at it empirically, logically, and intelligently to kind of make heads and tails out of it. So even though there's not really that much of a question, I'll read through it and maybe give you a way to think about this, so it's you're a little less perturbed. Hey, Cappy. Oh, hang on. All right, there we go. Want to make sure. Millennial and Gen Z single moms in the next generation. A little about me: I'm a veteran and college student who works for a place. Every day I see single moms and the rainbow offspring with no father in sight. I recently flew domestic twice this year on vacation. Both times they sat me next to a single mom and her kid. I was just watching TikTok. Yeah, I know. Well, let's be intellectually honest here now. Why are you watching TikTok, sir? And I'm reading the comments on this one gal's video, and all these Quanta ha-has are like, we're proud of raising little monsters and rebels, proud of their crotch gremlins, bad behavior, thinking their baby's going to change the world, when in reality, they're probably just going to end up in jail. Statistically speaking, that is very likely. I see Gen Z here in my state, and these people are like feral animals. Without rules, we're only animals, John. I guess their Gen X parents didn't slap them around. Yeah, no, there's no discipline. There's no fathers. Anyway, sorry for the rant. I was raised with morality. My parents gave me the boomer backhand discipline. I'm surprised you got boomers to stick together. It's crazy out there. I'm afraid of the next generation due to the lack of parenting. What's your take on this? All right. Well, the first thing I think is that it only complicates the analysis, or it's unnecessary, it's irrelevant, it's moot to throw the generations in here. Like, what's up with the Gen Z single moms? It's any generation of single moms, period. And it doesn't matter which generation raised you, be it Gen X or baby boomers or all that. I mean, statistically, like, whoa, this generation came out to crap. Well, who were the parents? Well, the parents were Gen X, and the children are Gen Z, and they're all like, they look like plants. Honest to God, I've seen some. I'm like, what? Where are the chemicals? Where are your hormones? What happened to you? And so we can make stereotypes, but the stereotypes is moot, and it distracts from the critical observation. What you're witnessing here is two things: the abdication of responsibility, being irresponsible, and child abuse. That's what it is. If you have a child in a broken home, that is child abuse. Now, it's not assault. It's not, I'm sure it's not malicious, but you are harming your children. And you combine that with the lack of responsibility, and that, regardless of the generation, is what basically broken homes are. And I'm a little bit more spread the blame around here because let's pull a Nicholas Wolfwood and look at it from the view of a child. Children who come from broken homes, whether that's a single mom, single dad, dead, about the only thing is like widow or widower, where the one of the parents was lost to death early. What it is not the child's fault that they are brought up under a dysfunctional and harmful home or harmful environment. It is both, both. I'll say it again, both the dad and the mom's mistake. It is both their responsibility. Right now, how is it the respect? And let me show you. Let me clarify my angle so everyone understands. It cannot possibly be the child's fault. The child didn't get married. The child didn't bang and procreate and not abort. It is not the child's fault. So, from the view of the child, I'm holding both parents responsible to varying degrees, depending on the individual situation, of course. And so, a lot of guys, I'll start with the angle a lot of people are going to, but the woman divorced me. Well, why are you choosing women like that? Have we not? I mean, I know in the scheme of human history, the red pill is very new, but have we not had decades now, like 20 years of, hey, be very careful about the girls you choose? Hey, have I not written several books like the Book of Numbers? I advised and edited Myron's book, Why Women Deserve Less, and go into great lengths of how little interest women have in men empirically. Have we not highlighted and sounded the alarms and told it? And are we not on like our third generation of adults who just can't keep it together? Young people who are about to enter the dating, courtship, marriage market potential. I'm not saying you should get married, you absolutely should not. Like, you have a track record now to look back upon. The only one who were innocent about that would have been baby boomer men. Like, well, geez, my parents were all swell and hunky dory. And then who knew that once the gates were open, women really didn't want to have that much to do with men. And they couldn't wait to get divorced from men. Baby boomer women being the first empirical bit of evidence to data about that. So I've got three generations now where you know that this marriage thing is not a good, it's not a stable relationship. It's not a stable environment. And everyone keeps on getting divorced, whether or not they have kids. So it is incumbent upon both men and women, regardless of whether you have children or not. That's not whether you want to have children. Did you have a child? Okay. Did you bring a child into this world? Are you bringing another human being and a human life into this world? I don't care if it's because you're drunk and stupid, you got a low IQ, and you can't do the cost benefit analysis of taking 10 seconds to put on a rubber versus 18 years paying child support. I don't care. You stuck your dick in that woman's vagina, guys. You came. Ladies, you didn't abort the child. You spat out the child. Both of you are responsible. But in this case, you're irresponsible. And so that's what I'm trying to point out is it doesn't matter what generation, having a child in a non-nuclear family is child abuse, period, end of discussion. Oh, you can all think it's an opinion, but all the data and evidence proves to me otherwise. And it shows that anyone that would argue against that otherwise, just how little they actually care about the children and how self-centered they actually are. And so I think what you're discussed or what angers you, aside from like bad behaving children, which are annoying unto themselves, responsibility on the part of single mothers, deadbeat dads, just failures of parents. Now, supplementing this, I guess, would be two things. One, the general abdication of responsibility society-wide. It's right, I'm laying it right at the square at the feet of the Democrat Party. I know politics is that's making it simple. You're just Republican. No, the Democrat Party, which controls the teachers' unions or vice versa, your whole life philosophy now. We've had three generations of divorce. Well, we've now had, starting with the hippies, 4 generations of American children now becoming adults brought up on like, oh, nothing's ever your fault, of which that has only been turned up to 12. And so there is absolutely, right off the bat, whether it's parenting or not, there is no responsibility among younger generations. So perhaps you're seeing it more pronounced the younger we get, where younger people in general just are less responsible because they haven't had time to age. But they don't care. It's not their fault. They are, according to what their teachers and the Democrat Party and the media and probably some of their parents have told them, they're not responsible for anything. They're criminally evil, especially when it comes to jail. Like, okay, you wrap your car around a tree. Well, I'm not responsible for that. All right, fine. No one got hurt. But when you bring an innocent child into this world, and then they say, well, it's not my responsibility. And you definitely see that with the welfare class, where they just bring the child in to get more welfare. Multiple fathers, multiple baby mamas. All right. So that's despicable. And you should be disgusted by that. It's despicable. It is, once again, child abuse. But then the other thing, and this is definitely, starting going back, look up Murphy Brown. Starting there, innocuous as that might have seemed, is the celebration of being a single mother. Now, this is different. There is no celebration of being a single father. They're just bad because, well, reasons. But the cacophony, the volume of celebrating single motherhood and strong, independent women don't need no man, that has only been turned up starting since Murphy Brown in the 90s, if you want to use that as a starting point. To where what do you think? These young girls that you've seen, maybe not so young if you're millennials, these young girls have been taught they're amazing and brave, and single moms are wonderful. There's no shame having a child without a father. What is it? 40%, maybe we're up to 45% of kids are born outside of wedlock. No one really cares. Nobody really cares. And if anything, also think about this. You're taught irresponsibility. Like, you're not taught work, accomplishment, achievement. Oh, you're a plumber. Oh, you're a military member. Oh, you're a cop. You're somebody who does something for society. And as you've really seen, especially the Democrat Party and through via teachers and K through 12 indoctrination camp, they've taught everybody that their traits are the number one thing, and especially women. I mean, oh my God, you have a vagina? Oh, you're just amazing. And so when you take that and combine with that, these girls, and then the single motherhood, girls want to have children without any responsibility. So they try to eliminate the shame of being a single mother. Absolutely. There's not only is there no responsibility, there's a celebration. Like, you're strong and independent, no matter how much government money you collect from other taxpayers who paid men and women. You're just amazing. And what's sick, what's mentally ill, because it's so, it's the opposite of an accomplishment. It's the opposite of this. They take value in that. Like you take a look at socialists, whatever variety, a totalitarian communist, an environmentalist, a feminist, whatever variation of socialism, like, all of it at its core is parasitic. I want other people's money. I don't want to work. I want other people to pay for me. That's basically at its core, whatever variant and flavor. And I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, you don't want to work. You just collect people's money. But when they are so void of any real value system or any production or any achievement, anything that gives them a core or a soul or any kind of worth to the rest of the nation or society, absent that, they go and make their ideology, their cult, their religion of parasitism, of theft, their value. Like, I'm such a good person, abdicating, taking other people's money. I'm like, wow, how pathetic and sad are you? Like, what should I celebrate being someone who I can't use that word because we don't have the freedom of speech here on this platform. Should I, like, that's a crime. It's evil to steal people's stuff. So it would be equivalent to me, let's say I beat up a little child, like I like a physical assault a child. Oh, I beat up little children. Isn't that great? And here's a whole slew of academic studies and professor. Oh, we have a degree in child beating up. I have my doctorate. I'm just so see you don't understand because you're not in the postmodernist era, like trying to rationalize it's okay to beat up a child. That's no different than what most of your liberal arts degrees and your social science degree people do in stealing people's money. It's just that that's based in envy, and most people are lazy and they're like, well, it's okay to steal other people's money, but child abuse, that's bad. I don't, they're both crimes to me, man. They're both wrong and evil. But that is how, given how they were raised, and given how they were raised by the teachers, ain't no dads around. Mom couldn't give a damn less. All right. Now they're outsourced to teachers. Teachers not only teach them being essentially parasites and lazy, but that it's good and this is great and you should have value. You should get a degree in parasitism, which is what nearly every liberal arts degree and social science degree is. And so perhaps what is also perturbing you, as it should, is that they're proud. They're proud of being single mom parasites. They're proud their children I'm gonna raise a hellion. There's also an element of rebellion, like, oh, we're gonna rebel against that system that just, made the most amount of people in the world wealthier than you could ever possibly imagine, because that's what they were told to do. Like, there's not, I'll tell you, there ain't a brain there. Absolutely not. There's not a brain there. And so, yeah, that's kind of what's happening, where it's there's no shame, where they're even proud of it. Well, because what do they got to be proud of? And the skids have been oiled so that they slide into, like, I'm proud I'm basically a degenerate loser who abuses children, who's just going to torture another innocent child, into this world without a stable nuclear family. And I, just so you know, I'm no big traditional conservative Republican Christian type. I'm not. I'm libertarian, but again, in a Nicholas Wolfwood way, it's like, you guys are just like, just look at how they treat the children, and you see just how evil these people are. And maybe they love their children, maybe they don't actually hate their children, but they absolutely love themselves more than they love their children. And when you have people who are self-centered and lazy and stupid sometimes on top of it, you have children that are just another lost generation. And yeah, naturally, like our tribe is not going to survive the winter with these kids coming online. You are also probably feel bad for the children, like, man, these poor kids, like, they don't stand a shot. Yeah, you're right, they don't. So this is all natural, and I wish I could say, oh yeah, well, look at it this way, and then it's kind of good. Like, no, no. Broken families, single parent homes are horrible. They are despicable. They are child abuse. And even though you may not have had the malicious intent, and thank God a lot of people don't, for whatever reason, families can't keep it together, you still should feel bad because you are partially responsible for the child abuse. And you could have done your best. I understand, but this we got to be critical within our own, where it's like, you have to choose the people you have kids with very carefully. Everyone, oh, Claire is all about the vasectomies. You damn right I am. You damn right. Because I don't want to bring some kid in accident. I would like to have. Oh, you ready for the brass tacks? I want to have sex with as many women as possible, but I don't want to have kids with any of them. I never wanted to have kids, but the general strategy for the average guy, I want to have sex with as many women as possible, but I only want to have children with one of them. One. I'm like, well, then it's incumbent upon you men to get a vasectomy. Put some sperm in a sperm bank. All right. And then just make damn sure you find the girl. You don't have to get married, but you committed to the girl and you court for like 3 to 4 years. You make sure she got her finances together. You make sure that as a responsible, mature adult woman who would make a good mother. And then you say, oh, you may now have access to my sperm. But, when you think of the intelligence, the responsibility that would take to have a vasectomy, put your sperm on ice. Now, I say it's a no-brainer. like every young man out there, like in perfect theoretical honesty, once you hit puberty, like, okay, hey, wait till those boys grow down there. All right, you make a couple deposits, and maybe 16, every young man gets a vasectomy. I mean, right now, what? All you girls are on birth control, right? We can't shove birth control up your hoo-ha quick enough once you turn whatever 12 or 13. All right. Well, same argument could be made for boys. Pubescent boys should have access to all male birth control. Some people on the other side of the aisle would argue it should be paid for by the government. I'm even willing to do that, because if you can make it that men control 100% whether sperm goes and creates a child, right, we're going to wait until we're financially stable and ready to do it. It's just that young men who are horny tend to be stupid. They could have a super high IQ, but if they're horny, they're still stupid. And so, as many things as I've pointed out, look, you're not going to get younger women. Well, no, I can't say that, because that's not a little silver lining. Out of wedlock births are going down. So younger women are. I mean, I think you're just seeing, well, obviously you're seeing the people who failed in this regard. But teen pregnancy actually is going down. So there is some progress being made on the part of women. And women are, and let's be honest, some younger gals are taking agency and responsibility. So that's good. But you want this night, you want it to end, guys? You want it to end? It goes back to a classical responsibility and agency. Well, you going to wait for women to go on the pill? You're going to wait for them to regularly? No. And so I would implore all men out there, if you don't want to bring an unwanted child, if you don't want to accidentally or intentionally abuse a child, go get a vasectomy. Well, first, go make a deposit at a sperm bank or a couple. Yes, it's going to cost money, boys. Get a vasectomy, and then just, there you go. This nightmare ends. You could end single motherhood. You could end deadbeat dadhood. I've said it before, because having more children than you can afford is the number one cause of poverty. We could eliminate poverty as much as it can be eliminated if every young man out there got a vasectomy and says, no, we're having a child when I say we're having a child. And then if you boys would just take the time to, hey, I got to make sure this girl is right. I got to make sure this girl is going to actually be a good mother. And we have plenty of work. There's plenty of canon now, or libraries of how to choose a good girl, libraries of the stuff, so that you don't ever have to suffer baby mama drama again. It's there. No tattoos, no messed up hair color, has a real degree or good finances or a real job or something like that, knows her dad, loves her dad, boppity 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 boo, and on and on and on. And so instead of having futility, which is what kind of sounds like, what's going on? I'm like, well, this is what's going on. But these girls are doing all this stuff, right? Their single moms are doing that thing. But you know what would end it? Give you a little bit of hope, a little bit of control, more than control, give you agency, give you control. Go get a vasectomy, or at least wrap it up and use spermicide. There should be a public awareness campaign. We need to raise awareness for young men about having vasectomies or using birth control, or the dangers of single parenthood, or being a baby daddy, or having a baby mama. I mean, and look, if the girls can do it to drive down teen pregnancy rates, boys can do it too. And so, and then the only other way I could go, well, be happy you're not them. Be thankful your parents were together and raised you. Be thankful you'll never be poor, no matter how much government money you'll get. Be thankful you don't have the mental pain. The true mentally ill nightmare is being raised in a broken home, especially one where your parents don't love you. Like, it's one thing it didn't work out between your parents, but your parents loved you, still F's you up, all right? Still F's you. Hey, let's toss you around like a football. We're gonna exchange the child in the Dollar General parking lot, all right? The handoff, I like to call it. I've had clients where the moms are going to kick them out of the house because they wouldn't get as much Section 8 housing if the guy was going to join the military or go to college. I've had clients where mom hasn't happened with dads yet because girls just get all the possession of the children, custody you want, where they use the kid's social security number so they can go get a credit card or a car loan. And then the kid turns 18. It's like, why am I already like in arrears? Why is there a collection agency after me? I literally just turned 18. So there you go. All right. I don't have to ask people to subscribe anymore. We made 200,000 guys. So link below for those of you who either know someone or you happen to be someone that came from a broken home and were raised by a single mom. And that's going to be an increasing percentage of you. 40% born out of wedlock, and then most of the women get possession. I think the majority of men are being raised by single moms, and most of you, even if your dad is around, he's not there. And even then, you go off to the public schools where K through at least 8th grade is all women. So you don't have a dad. So if you're from a broken home, if your dad wasn't around, either because he skipped out, mom kicked him out, or whatever, he just wasn't there. Link below is a course I have on Teachable called "The Dad You Never Had." It's everything your dad should have taught you but didn't because he wasn't there, or he himself was too stupid to know, or he just was a lazy POS and didn't participate, which is unfortunately very common even among nuclear families. So if you'd like to know about you got to do your taxes. Here's how you plan for retirement. Here's how you pick a car. Here's how you choose a degree or a career that doesn't make you this whiny, debt-ridden, student loan bailout worshiping millennial who lives at home at 38. Here's how you get someone from the opposite sex that's attractive and is great in bed and loves you. All that other stuff your dad should have taught you but didn't because we don't need no man. Link below, the dad you never had. And if you can't find the link below, go on just search Teachable Aaron Clary dad you never had. You'll find it. And it's there. So let's go through the super chats quickly because I gotta go for a hike here pretty soon. So no more super chats, guys. Don't donate anymore. I got to get through because I do have to go hiking here in 13 minutes. Sam Whiskey, $10. Cappy, a single mom walks up to me at Walmart parking lot and asked me for money so she can buy diapers for her baby. I said no and walked away. Why do women think they deserve every man's money? I don't think they even get that because they were told they deserve it. You're part of the patriarchy. And deep down inside, I think they know. It's just they have no shame. The pain of begging for money and being a thief, and that's what she's being, is less than the pain it would take her to go and work. That's what it is. I've had a lot of middle-aged dudes where they're like, the women are asking for help with rent and all that. It's just they hate work. Not women. Everybody hates work. Just some people really hate work. Flying Falcon, $5. How much of a drop in teen pregnancy do you think is because boys not pursuing sex? I'm 27. A lot of the teen guys I know don't want it. It could be a drop. That's certainly a factor, Flying Falcon. Yeah, I mean, the lower testosterone levels in younger men. Absolutely, I could see that. But I also think women just don't like sex that much, especially when they're younger. And but I also think there's some responsibility on younger women's part. I think younger gals are getting like, no, and a lot of that is they are told that you need to go to college and get a career. I think that's the primary driving thing. Women like, no, if I have a kid, I can't go to college and get a career, which is good. Yeah, I agree with you. But then they just never get around to having kids, which is fine if you don't want them. But I'd say that's the main driving force. Hambone, 20 generous dollars. Thank you, Hambone. As more young men drop out of the tax base and dating life, I could see government funded programs for women to go to the sperm bank and get welfare to pay for raising the child. Thoughts? It will come to that. A lot of women want to be able to have children out without men, and that is possible. And as more and more women, there's less and less people. Let me rephrase it. As less and less people get together to form families, more and more women will want to have a child, regardless of whether a man is there or not. So that will go up. Will it get to the point that the government will pay women? It might. It might. Over in Europe, they have programs that pay women to have children, family to have children. But then it becomes the right, like, is your sperm at a sperm bank your sperm anymore? And that is a legal issue where it's like, oh, I donated here, but then they gave it to a girl, and now now I'm on it, like I'm on the hook for child support. So that's a Anthem, $2. Getting a vasectomy gave me freedom, absolutely. Alex Patino, truck driver Latino agent in the field, $10 since all the girls are using dating apps. Therefore, the majority of guys will not get any playtime due to the girls' delusion. Nobody will or is having babies. Plus, environmentalists, we're calling ourselves. Yeah, a lot of girls, if you say, why don't you want to have kids? They say, because it's going to destroy the environment. I'm like, yeah, you're a really intelligent 19-year-old girl who will believe anything. Wisdom Vision Productions, $2. You skipped over like 10 super chats, mates. Thank you, Wisda. Let me get down here. Let me scroll up. Thank you. Thank you. Let me scroll up. I apologize. I didn't know this was going to be like this. I have someone coming to go hiking with me very shortly. Nonstop Dre, $2. Congrats on your engagement to the GF hashtag real men. I am not engaged and never will be. Wisdom Vision Productions, $2. Nonstop Dre. Can't wait to see the baby pics. There will be no baby errands. Although I did say for like $2 million after tax, women can get my seed if they'd like, but they're paying for everything and I'm not raising the child. Nonstop Dre, $2. The only real victims are kids until 18. Thoughts? Well, they're lifelong victims. It's not like 18 it ends if your dad wasn't around or your mom was abusive. I hate leftist filth. $2 going to Vegas mid-May. A good intermediate hike. Calico Basin. Around Craft Mountain. That's one I'd recommend. That's a good intermediate hike. Nonstop Dre, $2 per cappy. They say it takes a village to raise kids. Good. I notice how that works out with all the welfare class kids where the parents aren't raising the kids and the villages. It's really those kids are turning out great and they burn buildings down later. Really great. Wisdom Vision Productions, $5. I am burdened with glorious purpose. The cycle of child abuse ends with me. Sing it with me, boys and girls. No, 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 no. I catch up with everything. Sam Whiskey. No, all right. So we got back. All right, let me scroll down. Any more? Let me make sure I didn't miss anyone's super chats. I feel bad if I do. That's it. All right. Again, link below. The Dad You Never Had. Course that teaches you everything your dad should have taught you. Available on teachable.com. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.